Shalom, my brothers and sisters. Shalom. This is part 2 of Remember. Remember. Confirmation will come. This is a matter regarding preparatory instruction for things that are over the horizon. And we'll continue. We'll pick up where we left off in part 1. Let's not be blind. As for me, my brothers and sisters, I am compelled to believe that those of us who are in the United States that consider themselves Hebrews, children of the Most High, that consider themselves a part of Yashar'al, a family that seek to do the will of the Father, worship and obey Him, and yield to His guidance according to His scriptures. Those of us who are in the United States, I am compelled to believe that at some point, as chaos erupts and disorder erupts, that it'll get so intense, people will say, well, where do we go? What should we do? I will say to you, as for me and my wife, we are preparing to head eastward to Virginia. I don't know what city at this point, and I don't know what's going to happen when we get there. But keep in mind, if chaos broke out in your community, just holding up in a small neighborhood or in your house is not going to be enough for those who are walking and living. The larger the group, the larger the camp, the more secure you would be, if indeed we're guided by the Spirit of Yahushua. And I believe that what's necessary to fulfill Scripture will occur. In other words, for Israel to be gathered together, we will have the nourishment, we'll have the water and the food, but it may not be as we think it's going to be. Like we won't be able to go to KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, or McDonald's, or to a fast food place, or to the neighborhood grocery store. It'll be what's necessary to fulfill Scripture. Never have we read in Scripture that the Father is going to satisfy our needs by putting fast food restaurants and grocery stores and supermarkets at our fingertips. So in this gathering together of Yashar'al, let us condition our minds, even if it means to share crumbs, to share small amounts of water, just enough for us to survive comfortably. Yes, we have seen where Yahushua have made water sprout out of the ground and out of a rock, and manna come from heaven. So how many of us have prepared our minds, bodies, and soul to something that might be very simple, transitioning from these habits that we have? I think this is a time to start at least talking about it amongst brothers and sisters. Start talking about making that transition so that we can be strong and know that it is the fulfilling of the word of the Father to gather Yashar'al together. And the Father tells us that the fruit and rebellion of the enemy will show forth. But he talks about his hands of judgment. He talks about chastening and right rulings. They will come, my brothers. If you are in North America, if you are in the United States and you consider yourself Yashar'al, it's not going to hurt you to look at the highways and the routes to get to Virginia. And consider that a central point. Consider that a point where Yashar'al will meet up, and some of Yashar'al will leave from Virginia and return to a land where the Father has promised in His due time. Can I tell you it would be at the end of the year or next year? I don't know. I'm not about to try to say that I'm just a leader that's going to tell everybody that, hey, we better be in Virginia by the end of the year. I don't know. But I believe this, that the Spirit of Yahushua is telling me to prepare. I believe that the Spirit of Yahushua is telling me to reach out to believers and say, prepare your minds. Look at the highways. Look at the routes of how to reach Virginia. And when chaos start breaking out and communities start collapsing and things start going beyond and contrary to Scripture, when we seek the Father's face, I believe for those of us, there's going to be some of us that's going to receive this message first and foremost, for your spirit will bear witness to this message. But there are going to be many of you who are going to wonder whether this is a kook or a crazy person talking. There's going to be questions, and that's natural. It's natural, because it is not the words that I say that are important. It is the spirit behind the words. So if I'm saying something that is righteous, that is led by the Spirit of Yahushua, according to Isaiah 55:11, these words will do what they're designed to do, and they will not return to the Father void. Prepare, brothers and sisters. And who will be in charge, and who would be the leaders, and how would it be structured and organized? The Father knows, and He will bring it to fruition. He'll bring the realities to it. So it's not going to be a democracy, and it's not going to be about the majority rule and things of that. The right hand of the Father, the Spirit of Yahushua, will guide the structure and the order, preparing Yashar'al to return to the homeland. Don't be afraid and worried about who's there or what condition it will be, for all answers to those questions are relevant to those who will return, and we will receive answers. There are answers, some answers to those questions now, some answers that remain to be seen. But this message, my brothers and sisters, is to prepare our minds, prepare our bodies, even if it means leaving a wife or husband, children, a neighbor. This is a time when we must get on our knees and pray. So when it comes, because when you receive the confirmation, that is up to you whether you're going to respond or not. Not to your neighbor, not to your brother, not to your friend. It's going to be up to you. But you'll know that the Spirit is calling out to you. The Spirit of Yahushua is calling out to you and said, start your journey. To those that are in other parts of the country, to those who are in the Western Hemisphere, start preparing your minds, body, and spirit to move towards the east coast of the landmass that you're on. For those who are on the far east, start preparing yourselves to start moving westward towards the homeland when chaos breaks out, when things become uncontrollable. Let that be the refuge to prepare our minds to head eastward. If you are indeed on the mainland of the Western Hemisphere, if you're on the Eastern Hemisphere, head westward. And if you're in Australia and the southern parts of Africa, start heading to plans to head to the uppermost part of that landmass that takes you closer towards the homeland as we know it. But I believe the geographic boundaries are going to be a little bit different. Don't worry about the people that are there. And this is not a message to start saying grab guns and bow and arrows and weapons. No, not at all. Not at all. This is a message to say to Yashar'al, prepare for your backup. Your assurance and confirmation will come. And you will know it. For those who will be alive, you will remember this message. Let this message span the globe and prepare Yashar'al, for the Father will prove His guidance, His power, and He will demonstrate things that we've seen, talked about, or stated, or documented in Scripture. We'll begin to see some of those things come to reality in such a way that we'll know without a doubt that the Almighty Father, Yahuwah, is bringing all that He said to reality and to fruition. Prepare, Yashar'al, prepare. I'm not suggesting you do no more or no less than prepare your minds, body, and soul, and prepare for a day's travel to carry some water and some food for a day's journey. Think about it. Pray about it. There will be other messages similar to this. But there are those I know that are out there that receive this message. And by no means am I saying go buy property. If you're in the United States, go buy property in Virginia. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when chaos break out, you will see that people want to gather to points where they feel secure. And so basically what I'm saying is when chaos break out, it is people of like minds, like core beliefs that will come together. Some initially will call family, friends, children, those that they know, to try to circle around. But if they don't have the same core belief, they'll give you up for a bottle of water or a morsel of food. So if you truly believe that the scriptures are true, are righteous, and that Yahuwah says that our family are those who do the will of the Father, this is a time to really get to know believers. This is a time to start identifying those who are sincere with a heart to worship and obey the Most High. This is a time to start looking at that. This is a time when we must remember it is very important. Very important. So my brothers and sisters, I'm going to say, put this entire message to prayer. The beauty is righteous statements will do what they're supposed to do, as it is stated in the scriptures in Isaiah 55:11. So I have placed this and produced this as I believe I am guided by the Spirit of Yahushua. Let the Father, in the name of Yahushua, Mashiach, the Messiah, confirm all that is said. And I know with all my heart that confirmation will come. Those who prepare sooner will probably respond quicker. But just imagine when it comes, if you're not mentally prepared, what it will do for your life. So take this message to heart, my brothers and sisters. And if you have any questions or concerns, if I have an answer, I'll be more than happy to respond. You can Google my name, Symmanayah, that you see on this presentation. You can Google my name and email me if you have any questions. But I purposely did not put a slide up with saying contact me. Contact the Father and pray about these matters. And if you need to contact me, He will guide you to where you'll reach me. And I'll respond, and you will measure that response against the word and the spirit that's within you. Take this to heart. For soon, if you don't realize already, we are entering into severe times, very severe times for mankind. Shalom, my brothers and sisters. Shalom. May the mercies of the Almighty Yahuwah be with us. And may He guide us. And may He bring swift understanding and comfort to those who seek to worship and obey Him. In the name of Yahushua. Shalom, my brothers and sisters. Shalom.